Yeah, it's the sweet, sweet sounds of another episode of Social Distance Drinking Club. Guys, we're getting far. We're like a quarter of 100 episodes old, I think. Yeah, this is episode quarter of 100. Nice. It's moving tonight.
And 25 for people who don't know, right?
Quarter of 100. It says it right there. Damn it!
It's our silver anniversary, right?
I think so. Can we do that? Is that a thing for us?
I have no idea.
The show can rent a car now.
I think our show has always been able to rent a car. It's just now that the insurance costs less. The insurance costs less.
Ledford, I thought 25th anniversary was stout.
Yeah. In the new economy where craft beer is king.
To be fair, we are more than 25 episodes in because we've had some adjunct episodes. I see what you did there. Eat for a week stuff. Right. You see, we did the Keep Arizona Brewing Virtual Beer Festival after party. And we had our Eat for a Week episodes. By the way, that's coming back up next week. We had Beat the Boredom, stuff like that. So yeah, but guys, thanks for joining us. And as always, we like to start the show with a very simple question. What are you drinking? We'll start by telling you guys what we're drinking. Adam Ledford, we'll start with you.
I am cracking the can on one of the Dark Sky Brewing 6th anniversaries. I have been very excited for this. It's the Tormenta Oscura, but all the good adjuncts, and I've heard nothing but amazing stuff. Ian Harwell from Ground Control, our buddy Ian, turned me on to this one, told me that it was a must get. So, and it was part of the anniversary gift pack that they had with the Ouija board and the pentagram-shaped coaster and the sick-ass shirt that I was wearing.
Can you find a photo of that? Because I didn't know that there was a Ouija board pentagram coaster Dark Sky release.
I've seen it.
It was amazing.
It's really cool.
I got it out.
I'll find a picture.
Find it. Send it over. Brett, Barry, what are you drinking?
Decided to finish off. I was trying to save it for people that had not had it. I'm finishing off my last Dreamy Draw can from the most recent batch.
Oh.
Speaking of Dreamy Draw, you're drinking Wren House, and it is coming up on anniversary week for them.
Reniversary week?
Reniversary week, which you get your own Reniversary because you have a Ren now, too. So different. But, yes, and rumor has it, we're going to get some previews of some Wren House beers. So stay tuned.
Nice beans.
Oh, I'm excited. Spoke to Drew today, spoke to Luke, spoke to Kyle. Yep. So stay tuned. We're going to preview some stuff before you guys get a hold of it, but we'll tell you all about it on the show. Adam Green, what are you drinking?
Stay Home Wally. The latest batch, most recent one. Like Brett Bear, I have one can of Dreamy Draw left, but I promised I would save it for a certain friend of ours.
But not that one, right? Because I haven't had it yet.
Yeah, I got tired of saving it, but I do have that Nutty Buddies still for you, Ledford, in the fridge.
I think I got tired of saving it would be a really good beer name.
That's a good beer name. Justin.
Nutty Buddies, the one that I got for him. And did it get left with you, Brett?
Yes.
It did.
To be fair, one of those has not survived the quarantine with the blessing of Adam Ledford.
I appreciate the passive voice where you say, "Oh, did it get left behind?" Yes, it definitely wasn't me being a dumbass forgetting it in his fridge. It just got left behind.
That's my old AP Gov teacher saying, "Listen to the president speak. It's not I made a mistake. It's mistakes were made, problems were come across, and solutions will be found." No one is doing anything directly.
You're a passive bystander for everything bad that ever happened to you.
Hey, Justin says he's drinking a Modern Times of Reality Maze. Cheers to you, Justin.
That sounds good.
He's a Party Run 2.0 Blackberry with Sam Fraser. Wait a minute. You got two fans of the show hanging out in one room. Cheers to you guys.
That does not help our overall numbers. One IP address between two people.
It's true. I think that's how social distancing works. It's one IP address, two people.
Two guys, one IP address?
One name. And PJ says nice haircut, Brett. So
I mean, it was a Sam Fraser Barracks Barber special.
So you actually had Sam Fraser come down and trim you up?
He just took clippers to the sides.
Is there anything this man can't do? Like, he sodded your yard, He tried to fix my drip system. He cut your hair.
I don't think there is.
Judging us. Screw you, man.
Kevin Jones says water because it's 7:30 on a Tuesday. Listen, I don't think you understand. It's still social distance time, and no one asked you. Tuesdays are fine times to drink beer.
Judging us, I think.
I think Kevin's just trying to flex on Yusuf, who's going to open a Truly in a minute.
Listen, I can walk in there and open up any barrel-aged beer I want, and you will be very sad if I'm drinking a Horace beer without you guys.
And you choose Truly. That's the sticking point for me.
I'm trying to hydrate, man. I don't know what I'm going to get into in an hour. I don't work a 9-to-5 life. I never have, but right now I definitely don't work a 9-to-5 life. So this.
Are you still building out your campaign for Truly? I don't work a 9-to-5. I mean, I can, but I choose not to. Truly beverages.
Can we come in with a Ken Burns camera angle type thing, and then it's me working outside, shoveling and sweating, and I don't work a normal 9-to-5, but I get thirsty working out in my yard. Truly.
Run the captain.
Right down again.
The least intoxicated man in the world.
Well, there you go. Because I drank the Tombstone beer I stole from you last night. Well, there you go, Kevin. So that's fine. I didn't realize you stole a Tombstone beer from me, but that sounds an awful.
I hope it was Oregon Lots, and I hope it was your only one.
It was probably Oregon Lots. And it was definitely my older one. Oh, my only one. Sorry. Anyways, booze news tonight, guys. I've got stories. You got stories?
Got stories.
Talk about apparently. I want to start with some actual booze news. We did the Memorial Day drink a couple weeks back, and we were talking about it in the weeks leading up to it. We were talking about how booze sales had gone up exponentially. Stocks for companies like Diageo and Brown-Forman were insanely
You're welcome, everyone.
What's that? Yeah, you're welcome. If you made money on the market buying airlines because I said so, or buying booze stocks, well done. But it has come to our attention. I found out reading on Brewbound that beer sales topped $1 billion during Memorial Day week, and over $2 billion in the last 2 weeks leading up to this past weekend. That is insanity.
I mean, to be fair, I'm like 8% of that.
Right?
Indeed.
Food Trulies?
Remember? You laugh, but seltzer sales went up a lot. Way more than you would think. I'm going to share a couple of things that they shared here in the article. Credit to Brewbound, of course. So notes from Nielsen here, segments increasing. This is all off-premise sales, by the way. This is not places that opened up around Memorial Day. This is all off-premise sales of beer. Mexican imports ending in the week of May 30th went up 17.5%. Makes sense if they're lumping everything in. Super premiums. I'm not sure what they consider super premiums, but it's not craft apparently. That's a separate category. But there you go. Excluding seltzers, 15%. Seltzers were actually a huge number. They didn't break it down into something else. Craft beer, premium lights, and then of course budget beer. I'm guessing that's your Bud Lights, your Michelob Ultras, and definitely not your Trulies. You're welcome, Truly. Went up 3%. So
I think your premium lights are still your if I'm not wrong, it's Bud Miller Coors, and then your budgets are your Natty and
Milwaukee's Best
stuff. Yeah.
See, and I figured it was like your Michelob Ultras and your Amstel lights would be your premium lights, and then your Bud Light.
I can't remember who works with the beer industry who is watching.
Those are your super premiums.
Yeah, if any of you know, I know we've got fans who are distributors or work for distribution companies. Tell us what the heck that means.
What was that?
Hook us up. Also, pack sizes. This one is what I thought was interesting. 12 packs are still the thing. Apparently, everyone is still buying in moderation, thinking like, yeah, this is enough, and they just have to keep going back to buy more beer. So 12 packs are the most popular thing to buy.
That's what you gather from that is people are buying 12 packs because they're drinking in moderation?
No, they keep telling themselves they're drinking in moderation. That's
it's fridge space, man. It's fridge.
Yeah.
You have all your groceries because you got to cook every meal at home, and now the new acceptable amount of fridge space is a 12-pack.
And that's what I'm saying. The other thing is, like, think of it like this. You know, when we go out, we go somewhere like the Wandering Tortoise or the Sleepy Whale, and we're drinking like 15% stouts, and you're like, I'll just take a 5-ounce pour of that. But then 2 hours later, you're 16 5-ounce pours deep on 15% beer. You were doing it in moderation, you think. That's what happened.
I vaguely remember going to places like the Wandering Tortoise and the Sleepy Whale.
It happens sometimes. It does. So there you go, guys. Beer sales tops $1 billion during Memorial Day week and over $2 billion in the last 2 weeks. I found that very interesting and not surprising, but that was a much bigger number than I thought it was going to be. PJ says he buys 9 12-packs at a time, it would seem. So nice.
I would assume PJ would have gone for the joke of he buys a gross of beer every time.
A gross of beer.
You know,
good choice.
I'm all about 12 packs, but mainly that's because you can't get 30 racks of Natter Days at the grocery store. That number would skew largely if it was not the case.
Wait a minute. You tell me you drink Natter Days?
I drink the shit out of Natter Days if you can find them. It's the best pool beer ever.
Wait a minute. So Natter Days are delicious, and I have definitely shotgunned a few Natter Days in the past, but it's essential.
We don't need to be talking about Natter Days here right now, Brett. The best pool beer. Hold on, there are so many other beers that are better for the pool than Natter Days.
You're right. You're right. Drink at my pool last weekend, Devil's Claw. That was a delicious beer.
But no, you should have been drinking Natter Days, Brett. You would have had a much better time.
Look,
if I'd been drinking Natter Days, I might have remembered how my hat somehow ended up in the tree. True story.
You know what? Before we move on to the next piece of booze news, this is a great comment to ask our audience. Because if you're going to say, I don't think Natter Days is necessarily a pool beer. I'll drink it by the pool. It sounds fantastic by the pool. But I'll drink a Natty. In general, I've had Natty at bars. Shitty dive bars where people are mostly drinking Jack Daniels and a Coors Light. So I've done it before. But, Natter Days were a whole different breed of beer. They're delicious.
And far superior to Truly. Just night and day.
Oh, I mean, I think it's way better. It's just sometimes they're hard to come by. And also, if you've got lady friends over, they're fans of the berry flavor of Truly and not the strawberry flavor of Natty. So,
if you had to say, what was that accent?
That was the one I put on for the lady friends, so they can go, where are you from? And I go, from here. I'm just down the street. It's okay. I was born here.
I am from Gilbert.
Deep far Gilbert. I brought my passport.
So how many schmeckers to get this party started?
This is a loaded question. Did you write this, Adam Green? This is a loaded question. Natter Day versus Truly versus sobriety is a loaded question, sir.
I don't think it is.
I'm just saying. I mean, the question here was what was the best pool beer. Now you've put Truly and Natter Days against each other. I wouldn't pit them against each other. Unfair.
Oh no, I think this is very fair. Like if you are just at the house at 2 p.m. on a weekday, sobriety. But at that same weekday, at a pool,
I don't think yes, fine. But I don't need that kind of negativity from you, sir. Don't just decide that sobriety is the thing we do at 2 p.m. on a weekday, okay?
I don't always work 9 to 5. But when I do, I'm drinking by 2.
I don't need you guys to openly admit that you've definitely had a beer before a Zoom call, but if you have, blink twice.
I've done a good job of not drinking during my workday. I think it's because I have so much time after my.
He froze again, but he'll be back in a moment.
I don't know why he does that. No, I don't need to drink during my day, like for work, because it's like, okay, I have time after work to drink.
Thumbs down to PJ for the answer. Sobriety, really? Hey, you know what, PJ? I'll give away dirty secrets. I know you've come to my house and grabbed a Truly out of that fridge before.
I respect that. He's not drinking crap just to drink something. That's how I see it.
It's what did Stas say? I just saw it pop up for a second.
Somebody else mainline it there.
Seltzer beers are the reason 2020 has been so stupid. Maybe this is. Have you guys seen The Hunters? Maybe this is the equivalent of the high fructose corn syrup poisoning society. It's just. and they're trying to kill us. They're just sneaking in poison in the seltzers, and they're trying to ruin 2020. Murder hornets are actually just bees that make honey for seltzer. That's all they are.
I believe seltzer beers originated in the Wuhan province of China.
they use it to make the broth for bat soup. It's amazing. It's incredible.
I don't understand how Bartles and James have dodged the bullet of being responsible creators for this whole trend, because this is just the wine cooler of the 90s and the 2000s. Let's be honest.
But it's like a boozier wine cooler, right? Because wine coolers are what, 4%?
It's hard to say now. I wasn't a fan then. I'm not a fan now. I don't know.
Sorry, guys. Wally literally ran full speed into the door to push it open and demanded to be held.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take a quick kitty break for Wally, and you can show everybody Wally, but you got to hold him up real nice and high for us.
Are we stealing my joke?
I know, but I do it better.
I actually sang the proper words.
I would never do that. I just needed to do the whole high-pitched and on-key part of it.
Clear.
Wally, guys. Also, hey, see that link at the bottom? If you don't already have a cool Social Distance Drinking Club shirt, stickers, or a tank top, click that link. Buy a shirt.
I don't have a shirt yet.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that you ordered too much stuff. So you're ordering something.
They thought it was like someone stole my credit card. Like, no one wants to buy that much stuff from them.
Adam's never bought merch in his life. How is he suddenly buying this much merch?
Before we jump away from the topic of seltzers, Stas says she's never had a Zima. Look, that sucks because as a child, I watched Seinfeld because my parents, for some godforsaken reason, let me watch Seinfeld in second grade. And I remember the Zima commercials. And by the time I could get my hands on a Zima, I won't tell you how old I was, I drank it. Because commercials work. They definitely corrupt the youth.
I just imagine like 9-year-old Yusuf being, tastes like shit. Somebody get some whiskey.
and then 30-year-old Yusuf was just like, this truly is delicious.
Hey, speaking of actually delicious, this beer is amazing. It is everything that lives up to the hype on that, man.
Did you find a photo for us?
I'll send you a link. It was hard to find the actual original photo. You know what's dumb? I could actually just go get the Ouija board that I actually own here in a second.
Don't bother. I'm about to pull this up for everyone to see because I thought it was interesting. If you want to type it up in a banner, I will do that thing. But guys, if you're just tuning in, the beer that he is drinking came in an interesting pack with this Ouija board. I see some sage burning there in the corner too. Did it come with sage?
No, so it came with the Ouija board and that box behind it with the DSB and the star. That actually was part of it. It had the 3 beers, your size of T-shirt, and then this really sick, like star-shaped, pentagram-shaped beer coaster that was looked like it was laser cut out of wood. But they did a really, really excellent job on the whole thing, and that's still like the live edge of the piece there too.
Was this a COVID release?
No, it was. I don't know what the surrounding stuff was. That's somebody trying to offload their stuff. But it was like $75 for the 3 beers, T-shirt, and all the swag. So
I just wasn't sure when it was because if it was during COVID, I don't think a Ouija board was what we really needed. Just in case we.
I think it was before COVID and led to COVID.
We might have found the coronavirus thanks to a dark sky Ouija board.
Okay,
Adam Green was in like January doing this Ouija board. How's my 2020 gonna look? And it's spelled COVID. He's like, the fuck does that mean?
I was gonna say hashtag unpopular opinion, but I mean, don't we need to talk to the dead more now than ever?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't trust it.
Ouija board.
By the way, when you asked him if the sage came with it, I was really, really hoping the little glass was gonna move to the yes letters on the board, the picture. I was disappointed that it didn't happen.
Tempting. Maybe one of these days, if we feel like tempting fate, we'll all we'll drink barrel-aged stouts on the show and play a Ouija board. That sounds like a great idea. Adam Ledford just ran away to probably get the Ouija board. Stay tuned, everybody. We may be ruining the entire universe.
Say that or his voodoo dolls. We'll see.
Sounds like a bad idea.
That's a cool package though for like anniversary thing for Dark Sky. Like I know we mentioned like the Rent House anniversary that's coming up too, like their birthday. But it's cool to see what everyone does for those events, especially some of our favorite breweries out here. That's like just to make it a special experience, you know?
Well, I'm looking forward to getting a preview taste of the releases from Rent House. Wally has become our new mascot, by the way.
Oh, he's been demanding to be held.
I just think maybe you are not being a good father. Just let it cry. Just let it cry. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm pretty sure every parent has told me that. You just let it cry, Brent. It's okay.
Is that why you are the way you are, Yusuf?
Don't be rude. Just hold up the cat. No one wants to see your face.
Simba the cat for us. Do it.
It's too much. Too much. Guys, if you're just joining us, tell us what you're drinking in the comments. We are talking booze news. We touched on the $2 billion 2-week sales run in the industry in beer alone, off premises, not at places that have opened since Memorial Day up until this week. And up next, I think we're going to talk about some local spots because you've got some info on Kings, correct?
Oh, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they posted on their Facebook. I was actually, I've gone down there a couple of times, over the weeks to pick up some beers and everything. And they haven't opened up their bar area. And anyone who's been to Kings, they have the bottle shop on one side and this really long, pretty awesome bar on the other side. And you go there, it's usually packed, and obviously they closed down with all this stuff. And they shared today that they are going to wait at least through the rest of this month to see where things are before they open up. They made that post basically saying that they understand, some places have opened up, and they also know in Arizona the numbers seem to be spiking for COVID-19. So just out of a abundance of caution in what they feel is doing right by their customers and their employees, they're going to keep the bar side closed through the rest of this month and then kind of reevaluate in July. And I read that and I commented on them like, I appreciate that, because everyone who wants to put these dates on things, say we're going to open up at this date, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I feel like you just let the situation dictate where you feel comfortable, but don't just like pigeonhole yourself into saying we're going to open up by June, 14th. Because June 13th, everything falls apart, right? So I think Kings, like, not to judge or not to be like besmirch anyone who has opened up already, because everyone has to do what they think is best for their business and their situation. But I totally respect where Kings is coming from with this decision. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, here's the thing, and I think it's a smart decision just because we've talked to so many people. Like, remember when we had Matt James on, and Matt James said that they were waiting until at minimum May 31st to open up places in Seattle and in Washington State. It's honestly not, like, financially speaking, it's a poor business decision to open up if you think there's even a 50% chance that your business is going to close back up. Unless you're a conglomerate, you're a massive business, you've got this massive corporate backing. We all know Mickey. We know Mickey is who he is, and he's a smart guy. He's running two businesses side by side. So he's been able to get people beers to go and get people product out the door without allowing a mass gathering to happen. And not that it's a mass gathering, but I don't know, his capacity is probably under 80 at that location. Either way, yes, it is interesting to see that he waited to open up and is now going to delay it longer. We're seeing a lot of places that are having positive tests. The Shop Beer Co. actually closed up yesterday because one of their employees tested positive for COVID. So, and then F45, the gym, the session training gym in Scottsdale, their Scottsdale location actually closed up because two of their trainers, from what I read, tested positive. I think they're going to open back up from what I was hearing through the grapevine. Well, we'll see what that looks like. But I'm also interested in seeing how businesses are going to approach that. Like, hey, our employee tested positive, but we'll only be closed for a day. Well, I don't know if that's quite right, like.
One more thing about
whatever
closed on the bar side, like Kings, they do have the bottle shop side, so they can make, they can sell product. You're saying like they can move stuff out and make some money. Where there are some places that they're just a bar, in which case it's like, well, if they're not open, then they're not making any money at all. So but that plays a role. Like you can be a lot more cautious when you have the ability to keep your business going while being cautious. But yeah, it's interesting because like Helton, I think they closed down for like a week after opening because they had an employee or a customer I think came in and tested positive, and they wanted to give it time. And yeah, for these places, if they open up and then they get positive tests, like what do? Do they close back down? Like, are you going to close down every time someone tests positive? Because especially in Arizona, as the numbers seem to be going up, that seems more likely to happen.
Agreed.
Well, it seems like clockwork from when the 3 weeks since the reopen kind of happened, and we had those stories where those girls were folded up in the back of a pedicab in Scottsdale.
Yeah, and I told you guys about driving by a couple of bars and seeing just massive groups of people outside, in a circle smoking cigarettes or hanging out, having drinks. So I'm just like, yeah, it's not. Nope, I'm good. I've gone out. I think I've gone out probably a little bit more than you guys have.
Well, definitely more than I have. Yeah.
But I have 100% walked out of places, or even like not gone in, pulled up and not gone in to have a drink or a bite to eat because it looked like it was too much.
Isn't it weird that our new reality is the exact opposite of our like collegiate drinking behavior?
It is.
You walk in and go, man, this place is fucking dead. Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's like 5 dudes in here. Awesome.
Oh man, yeah. I can't believe I am in so many ways past the time where I would walk into a bar and say, "Look at all the women in here." Yeah. And now add another one to the list.
Now you're like, look at all the COVID in here. I mean, you could have said anything else.
It was always risk for exposure, but now it takes on a whole new meaning.
A whole different meaning for risk for exposure. None of us went to Q Club on Mill Avenue thinking like, damn, there's definitely a lot of risk for exposure up in this mother.
Hey, I don't want to kink shame, man. If that's your thing.
Definitely not. But a fair point, by the way, that we have changed our reality. Like, it's also been very interesting to slowly, like I've said, open up the circle, but now have people who come over to my house or people that I'll meet up with to go out with, but we'll go out somewhere where it's open and there's space and you get to just sit with those 2 or 3 people and hang out. So it's a trip. Adam, I want to continue on the train of booze news. And for those of you joining us right now, tell us what you're drinking in the comments. But before we jump to our next thing, anybody ready for another drink? Because it's been a half hour.
I'm slow sipping this. I might have to get something else to let this warm because it's so good. I don't want it to go away.
Well, I heard there was some total llama drama down in the dirty tea, Adam.
Smooth transition.
Yeah, it was great.
Live at 8:06. Hey guys, Tucson's an awesome town. We got a lot of stuff going on. There was llamas in the road. That's right. You heard me. Llamas. A couple of people's pet llamas got out and they were in the road. That's it.
What did I do? I lost it.
Hey,
not a llama.
Also, Adam grew 10 sizes. The real news down here, honestly, is Push Ridge is on fire. And llamas are the pleasant diversionary break that we're all looking at to say, like, isn't that amazing that this is a story that we can all get behind. But the reality is no, everybody's focused on the usual stuff down here. But the biggest thing is that I can, like, being in the northwest side, I can smell smoke outside of my house right now. And the sky is actually kind of hazy because of the fire that's coming from Push Ridge and those surrounding mountains up in north.
I want to pull up fire photos, but real quick, I also want to just give everyone a moment of zen and show these llama photos because we've watched a lot of situations with the police in the last week and people interacting with the police in different various aspects, protests and looting, riots. But there's a couple of llamas and, cops.
Do you guys remember 5 years ago in Phoenix, there were llamas running around? And that was just
that was glorious.
high-speed chase, I think.
Well, I was gonna ask Ledford, when you're driving around Tucson and a llama is walking in front of you, do you think to yourself, "Wow, traffic is moving faster than normal"?
Which is funny because like that you're from Phoenix, man. Like you are literally in Arcadia, and you're talking to me about traffic.
Well, no, it's more of a joke. It's more of a joke that I love Tucson to death, but the thing that drives me the most crazy about Tucson is that people drive 20 miles per hour all the time, everywhere.
I will say, if I'm driving in Oro Valley and I see a llama on the road, I'm like, that's the third worst driver I've seen in Oro Valley today.
Well, it's just funny to me because Oro Valley is supposed to be slightly more affluent and probably where most mob bosses who had to snitch on somebody and needed witness protection ended up in Tucson. So, because for some reason there's a very skewed amount of Italians who are definitely from New York there.
Oh, it is my blue heaven up there, man. Don't make no mistake.
I figured as much. Also, I'm just going to give credit to the Oro Valley Police Department here, and I know that most of us are not giving credit to any police department this week, but whoever's running their social media actually gets this. Quite a dilemma. Well done, pun. Drama, I had too, but quite a dilemma, I'll give them that. That one's not bad.
Llama, I'm coming home.
There was some good ones in there, man. There was some real good ones.
This go into shit alpaca suitcase.
I liked that more than I should have.
Probably. So we did talk fires in Tucson, and everyone who's watching, you guys know that Adam Green, Brett Barry, and myself are up here in the Phoenix metro area in the East Valley, minus Adam, who lives in the central Phoenix area. But Adam,
Central Arizona, like it's literally that far north.
We don't live in Tucson.
We don't live in No, we don't. Because you know why? Tucson sucks.
No.
Boo. Boo.
Tucson is lovely.
Yeah, right? Yeah, please. And thank you for that distance. Tucson is amazing. We have our problems, but we also have some of the most beautiful, beautiful sunsets in the world. And other stuff. That's cool. Really
great beer. Terrible university.
You know what's one of the great things about Tucson? The proportion of the population that's ASU bros is at like an all-time low for anywhere in the world too.
Yeah, and mostly U of A frat bros, since you guys still have frat houses. But listen, we'll argue when we get to the point in the.
I don't think you want to bro off.
Here's the best thing is that all the frat bros and all that whole kind of group of people, they stay right on university, and they don't go anywhere else. And so if you can manage that, you can go to university. You can get a slice of pie. You get some Mexican food that's okay. Or you can just go downtown where no frat bros are. It's fantastic.
Or you're talking, is it 4th? Is that the name of the road? Like the downtown?
4th Ave and Congress and Broadway, yeah.
There's like there's a place that I went to that I was definitely dragged out to by some Tucson frat bros called the Frog and the Firkin. Is that right?
Frog and Firkin. University. That's where we don't go.
Okay, got it. Because that was Bro City, Broham, and we
like campus.
Well, we broed out, and we had there was a lot of bromance, and we became brochachos, and yeah,
university. I'll speak slower for the ASU grads in the room.
Right up, Lorenzo. Thank you. Well, yes. So llama drama down in the Dirty T, but there is a fire down there, and I'm looking at some photos right now. I'll share them with you guys real quick before we move on to our next topic.
Yeah, my sister could see it from her backyard and see the flames from her backyard.
Can she see Russia from her house?
She's not Sarah Palin.
Actually, Yusuf, if you want to do a dive, if you pull up her Twitter, she's got a couple of amazing fire at night photos on there. The most
Sarah Palin does, or his sister?
His sister. Sarah Palin also probably has, burning whatever on her Twitter at any given time. But anyway, the point is, on the mountains, even from our view here in the Northwest, you can actually see the red lines of where they're trying to spray the fire retardant. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so that you can see like a red stripe. This is not a product endorsement poll, by the way, but you can
yeah.
do your Jamaican accent, Yusuf. Now's the appropriate time.
No Jamaican accent. Tell us the story.
So smoke everywhere. It's actually getting into the atmosphere. It's enough parts per million that you can really immediately smell it when you walk outside. And the mountains have like a zigzaggy line. And unfortunately, yesterday it was pretty high as it was coming over the south side of the mountain. And now it's getting progressively lower because it's just barely contained. It's it's weird to try to, like, I feel like 2020 is all about how to compartmentalize your concern and your fear and your outrage. But this is like the newest exercise of trying to figure out, should I worry about, people who I care about losing their homes to this dreadful fire or COVID?
It's a thing that I feel like in Arizona, we're blessed not to have to deal with a lot of natural disasters. Because we have a very small amount of natural disasters out here. And I've been out for example, when I was in Colorado Springs for work, and the people who we had hired to do the event with us, I was at the Broadmoor Resort, they had to rush out and leave. I mean, and I've never had anybody just drop everything and say, I got to go. Fire's raging. I got a dog in the house. They sent us an evacuation order like, screw you guys, I'm out. So it's crazy. It's nuts. We don't have to deal with our tornadoes. Basically, like toss around the chairs outside of a TCBY. Our monsoons might flood something with a basement. Sucks, but we don't have crazy earthquakes. We've got like the aftershock of something else.
And not all wildlife is trying to kill us.
We're definitely not Australia. But if you look at this photo, God damn! I mean, I'm waiting for like Cthulhu to come out of this. Is that a thing?
Guys, shall we call him?
Oh, yeah, with the Let's Play Ouija, thanks to Dark Sky Brewing Company. So if anything bad happens while you're
here, look at this.
That's really cool.
It is. It's neat.
Yeah, I was looking for. This is the coaster. Super cool.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, but like really, I mean, pretty cool stuff. I mean, like obviously it's laser cut. They can do it in production, but they did a good job. And then the swag box is enough to hold 12 ounces of beer.
Seems like a useless coaster if things drip down in between the markings of the devil.
He's got a point.
Aaron has a great question, by the way, and it is, what is the best brewery in Tucson? Aaron, you may have just filled in the next 20 minutes of the show because we can all argue about it.
Shall we? That's a good question, Aaron. Full disclosure, I am an investor of Borderlands, and I will always love my peeps. I was the general manager there for about 3 years, and they'll always have a special place in my heart. I don't have any more day-to-day operations there. I wish them well, and I hope that my stock makes me lots and lots of money one day, or I just pay less for beer when I go downtown. But those guys are great. But you cannot overlook Pueblo Vita and Crooked Tooth, which I'm just going geographically. If you were at Borderlands, you can hit 2 other ridiculous breweries within a 2-minute walk.
Don't forget 1912 too down there.
Way into Tucson.
That's a good sell, Adam. If you go to this place that might be okay, there's 2 other places you can go to if it's not okay.
No, that's not good. That's like
I actually think that Tucson punches way, way, way above its weight class for beer quality with the breweries they have.
It's hard not to just go all the way down the list. I'm trying to stop because like I have biased so hard with all my like professional work colleagues, and so I feel sad that I didn't mention 1912 and Dragoon already, and then I'm going to immediately feel sad that I didn't mention the next 5 of my friends' breweries. So, what do you guys think outside of the ones that we've talked about so far?
I agree.
Those were when I've gone down there. Those are the ones I usually hit up. 1912, Pueblo Vita, Borderlands. I've never been to Crooked Tooth, but I've had them at beer festivals up here. And that's one thing I was going to say is that even if you don't go down to Tucson, pretty much every time there's a beer festival up here, at least like strong beer, especially, you're going to find a lot of the Tucson breweries will have tents up here.
Yeah,
It's a great chance to try some of those beers that you may not get in Tucson because you don't go down there, but you can still try them, and you see just how good Tucson's doing right now.
Also, if you're a fan of Tucson beer and you're not seeing it up at your favorite haunts right now, like as far as opening up the circle a little bit, yeah, if you're watching the show, that means you're pretty cool, and I probably know you already.
Don't discount some of our fans. People are watching in like Denmark for some reason, so like, don't do that. If you're not, if you don't know them, it's okay.
Okay, let me add more slicers here. Sorry. If you're a fan of the show and you live in Arizona, we are probably within 1 degree of separation. And let me know, because like stuff happens. The whole like Phoenix to Tucson to Flagstaff inner beer commerce trade route unofficially happens all the time. And if you want something, we can totally get it for you. We being not me, some other person who bootlegs beer.
Listen, I don't want to be confirmed as a bootlegger. Actually, I don't even want anyone to accuse me of bootlegging, because it would be too easy for someone to be like, damn, COVID fucked up all of Yusuf's work.
This guy knows the Tucson breweries as well, though.
Hell yeah, he does.
He does.
Oh, a little bit. I mean, Pueblo Vita might be my favorite IPA brewery in the state. And their pale ales are like, the flavors they get for like non-IPA, like regular pale ales, are stupid good. 1912 I love, Crooked Tooth I love. Dillinger's another one I think that we didn't mention that's also got some good stuff. Is Iron John still, has it survived Ledford? I know they were downtown. I don't know if they survived with all the things going on, but they had some really interesting sours. Tucson for sours is also just, I think most of the best sours in the state actually come from Tucson.
Ledford, what's new with Voltron Brewing? That was a thing, right?
Yeah, so that was a good shared real estate kind of venture. So Sentinel Peak was expanding their operations. Borderlands needed to expand their operations, and they found a way to kind of cohabitate in a very large space where they could both kind of set up both brew houses, a whole lot more fermenters than either place previously had room for at the downtown Tool location for Borderlands or at the restaurant for Sentinel Peak. And they built a tap room there. Unfortunately, delays caused the tap room not to be ready to go before all this whole nightmare hit. I think I'm speaking accurately to that. And so they're now still just trying to sort everything out, just like the rest of everybody is. So.
Gotcha.
Oh, old monkey shine, man.
Yeah, I remember that, man. That was good. That was I mean, it would put you on your ass, but
we can't count Tombstone as a Tucson brewery, I'm sure, because they're in Tombstone. But for Phoenix people,
Tombstone.
I thought you were going to call Tombstone in Central Tucson.
You blew it. Shutter man, you blew that joke. But I like where your head was at. That was funny. It would have been anyway.
I blew the joke?
No, Brett did.
Oh, all right.
My buddy Ken, who is a big fan of the show, he's been getting Tombstone deliveries to him because apparently someone who works for Tombstone Brewery lives in his neighborhood. I mean, he lives in Vail, south of Tucson. And he just posted like, oh, yeah, we could just drop it off. Like, I'll just drop it off on my way home. That's fine. So he's been getting pretty good delivery from Tombstone. Like, I know they're not Tucson, but I think for Phoenix people, maybe they're, Southern Arizona breweries. And Tombstone, of course, we've had Weedy on the show, and like they're one of our top 3 or 4 breweries in the state, probably.
Inarguably one of the top 3 or 4 breweries in the state. For me, I think both Pueblo Vita and Wren House have both had single IPAs or double IPAs that are probably on my like top 3 list. But Tombstone is without a doubt my favorite IPA producer in the state. Plus other beers, honestly. I think that they're one of the most well-developed. I think Weedy's one of the most knowledgeable brewers and one of the people who does the most research and due diligence actively He writes blogs. He connects with people very well. And I think when you look at the depth and the breadth of what they offer stylistically, they're a true force to be reckoned with. If their production volume wasn't relatively limited to the town that they were in and the potentials for expansion, I think that you would hear about them on the entire West Coast.
I'd love to have Weedy back on the show soon. He was fun to have on, but I know he said he was in Bisbee at the time, I think, when we talked to him, and his internet was bad. So we'll have to talk to him again soon.
By the way, I like to imagine like some old grandparents driving an RV to do the Wyatt Earp tour at Tombstone, and they like, oh, let's stop into this place for a drink, and just not appreciating the quality of Tombstone Brewery, and they're like, oh, that's pretty good.
They still enjoy it though.
Do you guys have any Bud Light or Coors Light here? I'm sorry, this is too hoppy. It's malty.
Let's be real. They're asking for a Truly.
They're not skimping on their lagers, though. That's what I love. That Bohemian lager that they made was fucking
really good. I had it.
So good.
Sam Fraser, our favorite courier, apparently, because he's cut your hair and he's dropped off beer at my house and he's dropped off sod at this guy's house. And so Sam dropped off some beer for me, and I had that Bohemian lager. That shit was good.
You have a good point, though, Adam. Like, one thing about them, we always talk about our favorite breweries, and it's like we could probably find any beer of any style from whatever brewery you want to say. That's one of my favorite beers of all. But Tombstone has that rare ability to hit on every single style they do. Like you mentioned their IPAs. I've had some of their stouts. I'm a big stout guy, and I know they had like their Mexican vanilla, Mexican hot chocolate. Both were great. Their barley ones are always good. Like, that's the sign of like a really good brewery. Like I'd like to think every brewery could hit on a beer or two here and there. Otherwise, what are you doing being a brewery? What are you doing in being in business? But they hit on every style they do, which is probably not easy to have that kind of range.
Well, look, I don't want to kiss too much ass because no one's paying us yet. But like, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, somebody's getting paid to promote beer somewhere in Arizona. I won't say who, but and you're right. Those are pretty valid opinions.
Well, let's put a pin in this, because as we have all talked about kind of behind the scenes, I think there's a lot. This is very, very fertile ground, and I'd love to get into this all the way prepared with on the tail of a poll that we need to run for our viewers.
5 mentions. We'll see how many times we can mention Truly, Sam Fraser.
We haven't even mentioned Bubby yet. What the heck?
You know what? Actually, I meant to mention Bubby, but first, what the hell, PJ? Yes, I own boots. There's a pair of Ariats back there that I bought in Nashville before going to the Grand Ole Opry for a private Opry with Little Big Town and Diamond of Rio. So, boop, and Riders in the Sky. Bye.
What just happened?
He just flexed on Diamond Rio.
And Riders in the Sky, my friend. Them dog. I had that. That would happen. I saw that at the Grand Ole Opry. Fight me in a parking lot. I'm your Middle Eastern friend, your North African friend who has a pair of Ariat boots and went to the Grand Ole Opry. So,
respect, man, respect.
But speaking of Bubby is, again, we like to call her our biggest fan. Bubby is the superest of fans. Adam Green, I don't know why you didn't buy Bubby a shirt yet, so I'll just make sure she gets one before you do.
Can you get Bubby the custom muscle tank like you were gonna get for Ellie?
I'm going to get her the muscliest of tanks. I want Bubby in like just the super flex tank. And then I make brisket, but not for Adam apron. So, but apparently Bubby might have accidentally gone live on Facebook while trying to watch our Facebook Live. So, we saw that happen.
Well, we did start late. So
no. It was scheduled for 7:35. I've started scheduling everything for 7:35 and telling people it's 7:30 because I've realized that 95% of my friends are fucking late to everything. That's just what they are. Digitally, it's fine. I'm 30 minutes late to everything, so they're like Caucasian late.
Yusuf, you know what's sad? She accidentally went live on Facebook Live and got like twice the viewership that we got, and we're 25 episodes in.
Also, we're trying.
So what happens if we add Bubby to the live stream? Because
we could.
We could. That could be a thing. Guys, I've got a crazy idea. I know on Thursday we're playing the beer name game. If you're watching, tune in on Thursday, 7:30. Adam and Brett and I will be working on coming up with beer names and descriptions for them to read as cue cards that they have never seen before, plus beer names where they have to improvise a description or a sales pitch for that beer. But I thought about it, and I thought a great way to end Booze News tonight, not tonight because I didn't have a chance to write it up, but is a fake Booze News story. So put it in your noggin. I would love to write a fake Booze News story with a little headline and a photo in there. I don't know.
Put it in your noggin, beer name.
What's that?
Put it in your noggin, beer name.
Gotta be for sure. If anyone's still having a drink with us, please tell us in the comments. We're coming up on the close of the show. Lorenzo says, was there a Tucson brewery that made a Goes beer at one time, perhaps Dragoon? I can't answer that question. You might be able to.
I can. Just like champagne, Goose means something very specific to the region. But as far as that style of beer, Iron John's did a really amazingly cool, faithful recreation of that. I believe that they did that in partnership with Hermanos and potentially somebody else. But that collab was pretty amazing. They did like 2 variants of it, and they did like a really long spontaneous fermentation. They worked with, I think the third collaborator was probably whoever's farm it was on, but that was really a magical beer. And there might have been others. That's just the one that I can recall right off the top of my head. But it was really excellent. I think it was one of John's crowning achievements. That and Pater Pesh. Holy shit. That barrel aged peach sour was one of the best beers that Tucson's ever produced. And I don't think more than 150, 200 people ever got to try it. Now that's a hard beer flex.
That's a hard beer flex, buddy.
Your name?
I love it. Well, if anybody ever has Tucson beer questions, there's a good chance Adam Ledford can answer those. And Adam Green.
These guys.
Did you bust out the whiskey? Did I miss that? I looked away for a second.
I was at Costco the other day, and they had this. It sounded like fun.
Yeah.
Costco's liquors are actually pretty solid quality.
They're all from very large batch.
No.
Actually, no.
Small batch.
Okay, they made it in a small batch, but it's large batch.
Small for Costco means only 1.2 million barrels produced.
Yeah. You tried to get a small
where this came from. It was all in the one package. So,
have you ever tried to get a small pizza at Costco? Because it's about 14 and a half.
No such thing.
Small batch pizza.
So you're drinking. Hold on, you're drinking a 7-year Costco Kirkland signature bourbon, which is I've had it before, by the way. It's delicious, and I don't know if anyone else has had Kirkland bourbons or Kirkland drinks in general. Kirkland liquor, they're not bad.
Isn't like the vodka basically Grey Goose?
It's not. They've said it's not, and I think I looked it up, and it wasn't Sky. It was somewhere else. Do you know, Adam?
No, I was just going to say their gin, actually, somebody blinded me on Tanqueray and Kirkland's, and I failed to distinguish. I was really surprised at the quality of the Kirkland's gin.
You know what? Kirkland brand alcohol is not good. They're shitty light beer.
I didn't even know they had one. I had
my goodness. It's like under 50 cents a can when you buy it because it's in bulk, and it is overpriced.
Well, I feel like their beer is good for like beer pong or something like that. When you're not drinking it because you want to drink it, you drink it because you're getting your ass kicked, then it's okay because you deserve that punishment. It'll inspire you to do better.
Adam, did you see this, by the way? Because this went from what whiskey were you drinking to and my heart just broke.
I have other whiskeys here too. I just wanted to try this one, and you said it was really good.
No, it's good. You have to understand that PJ comes from a family of very good bourbon drinkers, and like Pappy Van Winkle was something that he just.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't have that.
Aaron
wants to help out.
Aaron says the answer to that, by the way, is that it just uses a few barrels in a bottle. That's small batch. So, Justin asked, when was the last time you guys had cognac? Technically, Justin, if I had to answer that question, my friend's birthday yesterday involved some Grand Marnier, and Grand Marnier is technically cognac.
Bah,
I don't know if I can answer. I don't know when the last time I had cognac was.
I mean, it is technically cognac. Grand Marnier is technically cognac. So is Hennessy. That's definitely cognac. And I have never mind. That bottle of Hennessy is empty. I don't have a bottle of Hennessy.
Well, I guess outside of Grand Marnier, since we're doing that now.
We call it Grandma.
Now, what was that accent?
Grand Marnier.
Can we get that accent one more time, Adam?
Well, if we're not doing Grand Marnier, it's
I don't know. The first time you did it, it sounded like a French foghorn leghorn. You're like,
I was going with Oscar Le Grouch.
Yeah,
or
drunk Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
So with a question from Justin also comes a question from us to Justin. Justin hosts a radio show, I believe, right, in Tucson? Is that correct?
Is it a Wildcat there and the podcast with our friend, me and Adam's friend, Saul Bookman.
Oh, so Better Call Saul.
Bookman, not Goodman.
Sorry, not Goodman, Bookman. Hey, Justin, thanks for joining us. Hell, I'd love to have him on the show. Hit us up, man. Find us.
I would drink some cognac with that dude.
Yeah.
Way too long.
By the way, Justin, I was listening to your and Saul's pod on what's going on in the world today, and it was fantastic. So, hold on.
Well, keep going, Brett.
Well, they basically did a whole episode, and they brought a lot of guests on, and they talked about kind of what's going on with police and race relations and Black Lives Matter, and really good, honest, fair conversations that were also not trying to avoid hard conversations, but not trying to make it political, shall I say. Yeah. I thought they did a fantastic job.
What
was that?
Podcast, Brett?
Yeah, the Total BS podcast. So,
okay.
Something I've wanted to do as well at some point on the show, but and I may do it at the end of the show. Who knows? Justin,
our last episode. We get political.
And Lorenzo says Kirkland's tequila at one time was still with him. Oh, well, yes. Let's not talk about Roger Klein's tequila at the moment. But I mean, maybe we'll have Roger Klein on sometime. I've reached out to some people. Maybe. We shall see. Would love to have him on. Roger's actually teasing us. What's that?
Now you're teasing us. So that'd be awesome.
No, Roger's a blast. I've met him a few times, and I've reached out to a few people that know him directly to kind of push that in our direction. I go to Mexico all the time. My dad's one vice now because he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke or anything, but he goes down to Mexico. He's been taking me since I was a little kid. Where for us to go out there and go see Roger Klein, and if my mom was too tired to go, because she always was, I'm the adult son, right? So I would go with them and with him and go hang out. So I got away with taking a few beers in even when I was younger, like 18, 19, and go see Roger play. And we made
the range of drinks that Justin's talking about there.
Listen, White Claws and Henny, Justin. Come on, man. He is now my favorite person in Tucson. You guys are all distanced. Nobody exists anymore. Justin, it's you and me, buddy. You're coming on the show. We're doing it, just you and me. This is a Rick and Morty moment, just you and me, you and I forever, Justin. That's it.
Hey, Justin, me and Adam will bring you on our sports podcast, and we'll have you drink something better with us.
I'll just sit down here in shitty old Tucson and drink my amazing beers by myself, I guess.
Technically, you're in Oro Valley.
No, thank you very much.
Or maybe me and Adam Green need to travel to Tucson to have a distance share with Mr. Ludford, and we can do our Wildcat Sports Radio podcast. Maybe have Justin on for that too. Do a twofer.
Let's do that. That'd be amazing.
I like playing for other shows than this one. That's quality content right there.
All right, moving on.
You guys want to see
that's a bad idea, Yusuf. Come on, man. Like, it's not going to be me. I know that.
It's going to be Ledford, and it's not going to be close.
No, I'd rather have a beer with Ledford.
I'll cook.
Aaron Bush says supposedly Kirkland bourbon is made by Buffalo Trace. I'm actually thinking we might have to take next week one of our segments be about Kirkland booze and finding out where it's made. I think it'd be a fun topic.
Hang on. Before that, let's talk to Lorenzo again and see if any one of the other like small batch producers is down for doing a show. I'd rather talk about that than Kirkland booze.
So I sent Lorenzo a message today, and Lorenzo didn't respond. And I asked him about. So Lorenzo has been drinking. No, I was gonna say he's been drinking Jefferson's Malort, not shitty Malort, like Jefferson's Malort. And for some reason, he fucking likes it. So I don't know if I trust Lorenzo because Malort makes you sick.
Real quick, besides Yusuf, who here has had Malort?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't either.
Adam Green was about ready to say, I think he had that in college once.
Listen, if we're gonna do Malort, and now that Lorenzo had a Malort tasting today alone, I'll do it with you guys on the show.
Let's go. Yeah.
But Adam Ledford and I know for a fact that Malort is going to. I gagged just thinking about it.
I think that's what they serve us on Passover.
I've never had it.
Wait, none of you guys have ever had Malort?
No.
No, I assume this is something that was made up from Harry Potter.
I agree. Yes.
I mean, you can have a Voldemort. It's a real drink. I've had it. But
had that.
Okay, listen, that might be the way we tease one of these episodes is I get a hold of some Malort. It has to be Jefferson's. It can't be a different brand of Malort. It has to be Jefferson's.
Totally.
We'll get a hold of some Malort for you guys.
Of course.
And look, Lorenzo, bitter and funky is a really nice way to describe Malort because it's more of like
What is Malort? People, come on. Malort? What is Malort?
Ah, man. Damn.
One vote for me. No vote for me.
Had some plants.
You petty man. We were in the middle of a Malort conversation, and you had to make sure that you got credit.
Goddamn right, I did.
To be fair, there's like a 60% chance. There's a 60% chance Aaron Bush's Facebook was hacked by Bubby, and that's just Bubby.
Definitely. Well, we'll leave this question for another time because I think it's a lot of fun. 100% definitely willing to. Oh yeah, Malort. I wish I could have this. I should have had this video ready to go. There is a video about Malort where it's supposed to be a Malort commercial, and the guy can't stomach a single shot, and they have to take it over and over and over again. Every time he sips on it, he just spits it out or gets sick or whatever.
They're selling Malort with that?
Yeah, it was a joke, but Malort is kind of like WD-40. Yes.
I changed my mind. I no longer want to do a live.
Oh, we're doing it. Live Malort tasting is happening. I'll tell you this. So we'll end with this fun story. I'll tell you guys. Earl and I were in Chicago. Chicago is a hub for Malort. Jefferson's Malort in particular. You can get it in a lot of bars. Instead of a shot of whiskey, you can get a beer and a Malort. We walked into the Green Mill, which is an old cocktail bar. It's got booths and, it used to be an old haunt for Al Capone, for example. And Earl and I sit down, and behind us is Michelle Rodriguez from Fast and the Furious and her girlfriend at the time, I think. I can't remember who it was. But anyways, we ordered Fernet. They heard us order Fernet. They were going to order some Fernet too. There was no Fernet. The bartender said, I can get you something similar. It's just Malort and Jaeger. No. In case anyone is wondering, don't let anyone in Chicago offer you Malort and Jaeger as a substitute to Fernet Branca. It's not a thing.
I am dying to know. Like, I will not say no to trying most things on earth, and now I am dying to try this to see if it's truly as terrible as you're
I
describing.
think it's like a new challenge. We have to film ourselves drinking it and upload it to our Instagram or something so people see our reactions to drinking this horrible, horrible beverage.
No, we're doing it. It is quite possibly the worst thing I have ever drank in my entire life.
We drink a lot of things.
I have had a lot of things, man. I've had yak's milk. Like, what?
Was it blue yak's milk?
No, I would take some blue yak's milk, though. I would do it. Lorenzo did send us this photo. He made a cocktail with Jefferson's Malort. He essentially made like a Malort Old Fashioned. If I
Wait,
look,
look at Old Fashioned. I would drink that, not knowing it's Malort.
yeah, well, it's Liquor 43, which is a Mexican liqueur and vermouth. So he made like
a raisin cookie.
Either way, it looks like it's good. Maybe he found a way to make it better. I can't even finish this truly thinking about Malort. I can't wait to do this with you guys live on camera. This is gonna be great. Hey, Lorenzo, get a hold of some Malort for us, buddy. We'll talk to you in a few days.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
We're deep into quarantine time, and we're running out of content. So we're just gonna drink WD-40 on screen.
We're not running out of content. It just keeps getting better because now the fans are the ones delivering the challenges and content to us. So
maybe the next
basically Fear Factor.
That really
tell us what we're drinking each week.
If you guys want to have a death night of chartreuse, like Taz here talked about, we could do that too.
I'm not that deep into quarantine.
I'm good. Thanks, Taz.
Thanks, Taz. See you later. Battle shots is what Justin says. Buddy, you know what? We're coming up with fun games we can play remotely. Battleship Battle Shots with Malort and Chartreuse sounds like a really good way for people to go about 4 turns in before they're just like, F4. That's it. End of game.
Why did I load my battleship with Malort? God.
Terrible idea.
There's a video where they did Battleship, and each ship represented like a pretty sadly sizable amount of one of like the very, very top tier painful hot sauces, and that is worth watching. If I find the link, I'll bring it next week. But holy cow,
I'm all about it.
By the way, if we're doing this distance, I'm just gonna accidentally,
your Wi-Fi's gonna stop working.
I know I'm gonna accidentally be like, yeah, this Malort, this glass looks terrible, and it's actually just some of my Eagle Rare.
Well, guys, it's been a lot of fun. I don't think we've missed anything on Booze News, and thank you to everyone who has contributed today to the show and being a part of it. Man, Taz, I'm so sorry. She said they finished a bottle. Yikes.
Are we talking Malort or Chartreuse at this point?
I think it's Chartreuse, but that's a bad move, but definitely sounds like a Brandon Casey move. I know Brandon and I know Chartreuse. Easy done.
Too much work.
No, Lorenzo, we're not car bombing Malort. Guys, we might do a Malort challenge next week. Figure it out. I'll work with Lorenzo on it. Jepson's Malort's hard to get a hold of.
You know what's great when you zoomed in there? I looked like one of those like ventriloquist dummies of like grumpy old man face, like.
Gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure to share a drink with you guys on this wonderful evening's edition of Booze News Tonight. Thank you all for joining us. And to anyone who watched this after we were live, thanks for hanging out. It's been a great time. And you know what? I'm not drinking a Truly. I'm drinking a Nutritional Facts. So cheers. Thank you, Justin. A lot of fun. Looking forward to having you guys. And cheers to you all. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Social Distance Drinking Club. This has been episode 25, Booze News Tonight. We'll see you on Thursday.
And